So, Motorola's doing something interesting with their brand new Motorola Razr Flip. I don't think they had the flip part at the end of there, but this is something interesting. Here are some renders of the new flippable phone. And you might say, hold up, what is that outside display? Because if you know anything about Motorola, you know their outside display is massive. It's one of their best selling points. If you want to buy a phone with an amazing outside display, well, you're going to have to go ahead and buy a Motorola Razr. Well, this is because this is not their premium model. This is considered their Lite model. So yes, this might be something we see across the board for a lot of different foldable phones, and that is two different iterations of their phones. So we kind of almost saw this with the Surface Duo 2, where Microsoft was thinking about releasing a Surface Duo 2 Wi-Fi only model and a Surface Duo 2 regular cell phone model. Obviously, this way they can, release a version, make a crap ton of money off of it, and it doesn't cost them a crap ton of money to go ahead and manufacture, and it makes the consumer happy. And if the consumer gets happy with that device, then maybe they upgrade to the more premium model. We see this with Samsung every year with three different iterations. They have the Galaxy S23, the 23 Plus, and the 23 Ultra. iPhones, the iPhone 14, 14 Pro, 14 Pro Max. Every single version has a special feature to it. Well, that's what Motorola is releasing here with the Motorola Razr Lite and Pro models. So two different iterations of the same cell phone. Now, what's the biggest difference is the outside display. So for the Lite model, you will be receiving a 1:1 ratio outside display, which does feature the time. Obviously with ColorOS, you can add some more features to that, and two cameras. If you do go with the Pro model, you're going to receive the typical gigantic outside display you expect to see out of a Motorola Razr phone. So it really comes down to what the consumer wants. And not every consumer really cares too much about an outside display. Let's say you're using this for work and you're never really, and this isn't really like a pleasure device or entertainment device. This is a device that you just have for work. You pull out of your pocket or your briefcase, you open it up, make a call, send a text, put it back, blank. That's all you do with it. Well, you might not need an outside display that's really massive. If that's the case, this is a perfect phone for you, because this saves you money in the long run of having to go out there and spend $1,200 on a Motorola Razr, Pro model, which is going to cost probably $1,000 to $1,100. Instead, you go with the Lite model, you save $200-300, and you don't have to worry about that. Now, are there other things that are going to be light in this model? We don't know all the specs. That's what I want to say, specs. I don't know why I can't talk tonight. Specs, but most likely, yeah. What we kind of see is the same concept that applies to the Fan Edition phones of the Galaxy S series, where you have the Galaxy S series and then you have the Fan Editions. Fan Editions mean they take all the features you love about the main phone and they put it in another phone, but they take out some premium features. So, for example, they might take out not NFC, but they might take out wireless charging. They might take out waterproofness. Certain features that you might really like. And it's like, hey, listen, you love that feature. You probably should get the premium version. But if you just want a really decent, good camera on this phone, and you like the fact that this phone had that camera, guess what? This phone has the same camera system. It's going to be cheaply made, not as premium as the main one. So if the main product is like, for example, stainless steel, this one's going to be plastic. So it's interesting. And again, like I said, I could see this happen across the board. Maybe with the Surface Duo 3, I've said this many times, I would love to see a Surface Duo 3 Lite model and then a Pro model. The Pro model has all the bells and whistles that we all want as tech enthusiasts, like it dual boots from Windows 11X to Android. That would be amazing, right? It has NFC, it has wireless charging, it has waterproofness, all the bells and whistles we want. That phone's going to cost you $2,500. Okay, it's a premium version. And then a phone could come out at $1,600. That's the Lite model. That really just upgrades on the Surface Duo 2. I would love to see stuff like that. This is like something I've been talking about for so long, and I'm happy Motorola is now the company that is pushing this narrative forward. Because this is always a good idea. Give your consumers as many options as possible. You know, at the end of the day, not everyone likes the same things. Believe it or not, some people like certain things, some people hate certain things. Give the consumer as many options as possible so that they can make the decision on what they feel is best for them, rather than being kind of feel forced to say, well, okay, we have the Motorola Razr here, we have the Galaxy Z Flip 4 here, and we have Oppo Find N2 Flip. Which one should I go with? Well, on paper, this one's better. On paper, no. No, instead, it's, okay, well, the Razr has 2 different iterations. And the first iteration, for what I'm going to use this for, and maybe a secondary device, I don't really need a big outside display. And I don't want to spend over $1,000. I'll spend $700 for this phone. Bam. Helps the consumer. And then guess what's going to happen now? Samsung's going to come out with a light version of their Galaxy Z Flip series. And then Microsoft does. And then Google does. And then Oppo does. And now what we're doing is creating an actual market for foldable, flippable phones. We're not just keeping everything in a box. Now the market's growing because we're not just focused on 1 or 2 different iterations of cell phones. We're now worried about, okay, well, we got this version, but now we could have a cheaper version here, a cheaper version here. Give the consumer more, to work with. Always a W in the end. Guys, comment down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.